everyone. I hope everyone is having a good day. I'm Tarasha. Welcome to my channel. So we're just going to talk about movies. Just movies in particular, because a lot of my followers and a lot of people I know have been telling me they don't know the dates. So I'm going to show you a poster and a date for the movies that we're going to talk about. Excuse me. There are quite a bit of movies I want to see this year and going into the next year. So let's talk about some that do have dates and some that don't have dates. So let's talk about Marvel in particular. Now, Fantastic Four, everybody's been talking about it. We have a cast. We're probably going to see more casting for this movie, but it's coming out July 11th, 2025, and I cannot wait to see this movie because I'm a fan of Fantastic Four, and I cannot wait to see what they do with it. Now, another movie is probably going to be, I have my whole list right here, Superman, which we did see a picture of David Coleswett's suit which looks, I do like the suit. I said this in a video before, but I do like the suit. I mean, it looks classic and I like that. And I couldn't tell, I said this in my last video, I couldn't tell if the underwear was on top of the pant. I couldn't tell until we see more pictures, then we'll know. But that comes out July 11, 2025. And then Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, that also interests me just because I've been reading the comic books. For me, anytime I don't know too much about a superhero, I start reading the comic books. Now, I read quite a bit of comic books, but I never really got into Supergirl as much. I know a little bit more about her now that I've been researching and reading about her. But maybe a year ago, I did not know too much about her. And that movie is supposed to come out June 26, 2026. So I cannot wait to see that also. Another one is from the DC world is Batman Part 2. Now, Robert Pattinson, in my opinion, is actually a pretty good Batman. I do like the fact that he's younger and it's more grittier, and I like that. Just from the first one, it was just really good. The chemistry between Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz, I liked it. Of her being Catwoman, I liked it. And that movie is supposed to come out October 2nd, 2026. Here's a couple more. Now, most of these are going to be superhero ones just in the first half. But, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. The first two movies are amazing, okay? The animation in itself is amazing, okay? This third one, just the way the second one ended, the way it ended with Gwen Stacy and stuff tells me, this third one is just going to hit it out the park just like the first two. That doesn't have, to my understanding, that doesn't have a date yet. When it does, I'll talk more about it, and when more information comes out about it, I'll talk about it. Now let's talk about sequels in itself, okay? So Toy Story 5 is going to be a sequel, and it comes out June 19th, 2026. Then Zootopia 2 and Frozen 2, they also have dates, and November 26th for Zootopia 2, and November 25th for Frozen 3, 2026. For me, Frozen is one of my favorites. The first two are really good. I like Zootopia too. I really do. And Toy Story was, if I really think about, Toy Story and Lion King are the first two that I went to see in theaters when I was a little kid. So those are really dear to my childhood heart. They really are. And then let's go over a couple more because I always find a movie that I'm always interested in. There's going to be a sequel for a Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and that is supposed to come out October 9th, 2020. Six, and I think I talked about this, I'm not sure, but Avatar The Last Airbender is one of my favorite TV shows, and I have talked about the live action version, which got renewed for a second and third season, and I believe the animation series is just an amazing series. Has a really good fan base, and a lot of people talk about the show because it's a childhood show of a lot of people. It's not really a childhood, like one of my childhood things. I was a lot older when the show came out, but I started watching it and I fell in love with it. And the animated is going to get a movies, and I believe they're going to do one with Aang, with all of them older. Katara and Sokka, they'll all be, I believe, when the information came out, they'll all be in their 20s and 30s. We did see a little of just scenes in itself in when Korra, Legend of Korra came out, and we seen them a lot older and like past stuff and stuff like that, but we're actually going to see them older, and we'll probably know more, you know. And I cannot wait for those to come out. That movie, it's called Aang the Last Airbender. At the moment, that's what's the title, and it's supposed to come out January 20th, 2026. Here's a couple more. Some of these do have dates, some of them don't. If they do, I will put it on the screen. Black Phone 2, Megan 2.0, Saw 11, 28 Years Later. I'm a big fan of 28 Days Later. That movie is phenomenal. And then Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Those all are sequels. Most of the ones I said are all sequels, just because there's so much stuff coming out all the time, and I like a good sequel. Okay, I really do. I like a good sequel. I understand some people are not fond of them, but for me, I like a good sequel when the sequel is good and it makes sense from the first one. I also like a good reboot too. I don't know if I really talked about that on here. I believe a reboot could be done in a really good way. If you have a good story, a good cast, and you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you know what you're going to do throughout of that reboot, then I'm here for it. I really am. Are there some reboots that I'm not fond of? Yeah. There are some reboots that I'm not fond of, but there are also some reboots that I like. You know, that's the thing when it comes to movies that people gotta understand. If I like something, there's probably a lot of people that don't like that movie that I like. But there also is movies that people like that I don't like. And that, for me, that's where you really get the most fun at. Because for me, as a person that talks about movies and a person that fell in love with movies, is a person like, hey, I'm here for all genres, knowing the fact that I'm not a big fan of horror, but if someone suggested a movie to me and told me, hey, I want you to you want recommendations, which I ask a lot, by the way, is a horror movie, I'll watch it. I really am. Because I do like some horror movies, just not a lot. But if you have a recommendation for a good one, shoot, I'll sit here and watch it. And if I like it so much, I'll sit here and talk about it. Because I just got into, maybe a year ago, I've never watched any of the Poltergeist movies, never. Okay, for some reason, I just was scared of them. And then I watched them a year ago on Halloween, and I fell in love with the Poltergeist movies, the first one. And do think that movie is a really good movie. But I do like the Halloween movies. I like some horror movies. Not all horror movies, but like I said, when you sit here, for me, what I don't like what people do is they get on this train of, okay, I don't like this movie, so I'm going to tell everybody don't watch this movie. But I feel like you should watch that movie and form your own opinion. That's my message. Like, form your own opinion. Don't go off of anybody else's. Go off of yours. Because that means you have the knowledge of watching that movie, and you can form your own opinion around the characters, the story, and wherever that movie takes you. Because like I said, everybody has different opinions about the same movie. That's the thing. People gotta understand that. But I wanted to talk about that. I hope everyone is having a good day, and I hope you guys follow me, because over here we talk about things that we love. Bye.